In this video, I'm going to be explaining why the issues between Haiti and the Dominican Republic is a social and economic issue. To piggyback off my last segment, one of the first things to consider is the conflict between the two nations today on the island did not evolve around issues such as Jim Crow, lynchings, segregation, and racial discrimination. Now, when you look at the history between both sides of the island, we know that both have their historical issues. Historically, Haiti and the Dominican Republic's relations has always been tense because of the 19th century historical conflicts, which I'm going to be reviewing those shortly. But first, I want to read this, and this is going to help me to make my point. Dominican definitions of race, which systematically deny the large African component in the collective national gene pool, also derive from the conflicted relationship with Haiti. This is entirely incorrect. This is why in the last segment I mentioned the Manifesto of January 16th, 1844. When we look through the genetic studies, we know that Dominicans are a diverse group, a heterogeneous ethnic group that makes up through various racials of the native, the European, and the African. Okay, that's why today in the Dominican Republic, you see a representation culturally of all three, okay? The second part, the period of occupation and the subsequent independence war caused much of the enmity that continues to characterize the attitudes of many Dominicans. Okay, we have to put this into context, okay? The first things to consider during the 22-year occupation the main reason that Haiti separated, the main reason that the Dominican Republic separated from Haiti, okay, was one of the main reasons was they did not agree with paying the indemnity to have Haiti's independence recognized by France, okay? Also the high taxes that was imposed during the 22-year occupations under Jean-Pierre Boyer to help raise the money to pay the indemnity, okay? Those were the main reasons, okay? Other things to consider when it comes to the history between the two, the Mocha Massacre in 1805, as I already mentioned, the 22-year occupation from 1822 to 1844, the historical invasions when Haiti attempted to take back the eastern side of the island, okay, which was in 1845, 1849, 1853, 1855, and 1856. Also the annexation influences, the border disputes, and the agreements made between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Okay, so that summarizes our history of the two nations and the historical conflicts that we have, okay? So those are the point of reference that we can go to, okay? Now, let's move on and talk about the demographic surge, okay? Which started in the early 1920s, okay? Particularly 1919, a few years after the first U.S. occupation in Haiti, okay? This is where Haitian immigration to the DR began with the sugar industry and the development in the country. All right. Now, these things occurred, and we see continuing today is largely because of the instability that we see in Haiti. Okay, and I'm going to give you an example of that shortly. But first, okay, I'm going to mention this so that we can understand in context the history between the two nations. Historically, DR sought a protectorate with France, Spain, and the US. Okay, this was during the 19th century. This is seen with Buenaventura Baez, Pedro Santana's foreign policy to annex the DR in 1861, then again in 1870 with the United States, which fell short of ratification under the US Senate. Okay, this was all in the 19th century. Okay, so here's an issue to understand. Okay, when somebody says to get rid of the Haitians, it's not that simple. Okay, it's a very complex issue that mainly lies, again, with Haiti's instability. Here's an example of this. Okay, November 2017, the Haitian Senate's Special Commission of Investigation issued a 656-page report detailing alleged embezzlement and fraud by current and former Haitian officials. Okay, this was under the president of Haiti, Jovenel Moïse. Okay, and this was dealing with managing $2 billion of loans from Venezuela under the Petro Caribe program. Okay, which, if I'm not mistaken, okay, the current president of Haiti, Jovenel Moïse, okay, Haiti, the people of Haiti is still calling him out for allegations of corruption. Okay, we see examples of this on both sides. Historically, we see more in Haiti, and one example is with the Duvaliers. Okay, in regards to U.S. occupation, historically Haitians are not fond of foreigners because of their history with the French. Okay, there's an example where they asked for the money back that they paid to France, and France denied their request. Okay, so these are examples explaining why our issues between Haiti and the DR is social and economic. All right, so closing out, so this is the shirt that I have. I'm planning later down the road to make some shirts, and the reason why that I make this for myself is to ground myself within my ethnic identity. It's also a good tool to educate, okay, and to show the global community that we have a diverse history. So this is what I'm doing right now. Currently reading this book, The Historical Dictionary of Haiti. This is by Eric Paul Roorda. There's another dictionary just like this that is by Michael R. Hall that I ordered and I'm waiting for. The other book that I'm studying is Main Currents in Caribbean Thought, okay, and the General History of the Caribbean, the long 19th century. This is by UNESCO, all right. I'm studying the literature of the 19th century from people like Hostos, Betances, Marty. Right now I resonate the most with Hostos, so I've been reading his writings. Later I will move on to Betances and then Marty, all right? So this is my take. Observe this with an open mind. It's important that we be educated. For example, like Hustle said, what's missing is the educational revolution, and this, in my opinion, is the best approach. Okay, so until the next bill.